Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Wednesday the 8th of May and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and box to continue unboxing. And what I got here, so I can get hold of it, is this, which is Blasphemy and Larceny in Lankhmar. Now, this is a scenario. This is for Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankhmar, the 5th scenario, a level 5 scenario. Dungeon Crawl Classics is the old school Renaissance style role-playing game, drawing heavily upon Appendix N. And in the case of Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankhmar, that's drawing upon the stories of Frafrid and Grey Mouser, set within the city of Lankhmar, as written by Fritz Leiber, in which the player characters and basic Frafrid and Grey Mouser are thieves, cut purses, and ne'er-do-wells trying to make a living, get some coin for wine, women, and song, and whilst at the same time avoiding the attentions of both the Thieves Guild and the local constabulary of the city overlord. So, a member of your gang awakens in an alley with the foggy memories of a deal made, a job taken, a part slain, and a heist plan. They struggle to remember the details, but you all agree that breaking into an abandoned temple should be a simple matter, in and out. Yet the heist is on a collision course with something sinister. What begins as an easy job becomes anything but, as you confront cultists, vengeful spirits, and the servitors of a long-forgotten god. While seeking an easy score, you uncover a plan to strike a blow into the heart of Lankhmar, and no one is safe from the blasphemous plot. A choice needs to be made. Will you stand with the city, risk letting it descend into chaos? Curse the gods of Lankhmar for their cruel joke that in the shadowed alleyways of Lankhmar, there is no such thing as a simple matter. So, that's the kind of advert you've got there for Dungeon Crawl Classics and Goodman Games. You've got the nice frontispiece there for the scenario and also the credits. And this is just as is the style with all Dungeon Crawl Classic scenarios. And we've got a bit of an introduction and background, and a discussion of things of calendars, forgotten luck, and how to handle fleeting luck in the scenario. Essentially, the player characters have got a supply of luck in Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankhmar, and it doesn't hang around long, so they need to use it. And then we get on to how to start this adventure. Essentially, it even suggests you could run this as a high-level meet for conventions. So this is setting you up with everything. Why have you got caught up in this heist? Why have you got caught up in these events and so on? You know, and trying to work out what's going on, setting you up before you actually have to enter the temple there. And here we then have the descriptions of the temple. As with other scenarios for Dungeon Crawl Classics, these are all nicely detailed locations, plenty of information to help the judge portray them and describe them as the player characters investigate. And this is quite a tall building, basically several levels. We're already up onto the 3rd floor. And so on. So that's describing the general details. And then we've actually got a bit of a plot, because the interesting thing about Dungeon Crawl Classics is that in moving it to a one location, essentially a large location, a city location, the designers have to write a bit more about adventures which are built in and around events and places within the city, in which the player characters will be meeting people and they have their own motivations and so on, and the outcomes of those will have lasting effects upon a campaign, which is not always the case with Dungeon Crawl Classics scenarios. We've also got a chase tracker there, chart at the bottom. So, the player characters are basically onto a third event where they're going to be chased through the underworld and escape. We've got a guide there on how to conclude the adventure. The Appendix A contains new benisons and dooms which the player characters can suffer as a result of the scenario. We've got some handouts. Bit plain, but and you've got the adventure location, just partially ruined tower, which nobody generally wants to bother with, but the player characters have no choice but to investigate. And there, lastly, we've got the advert for Dungeon Crawl Classics with the three signature characters from the gang surviving here in Lankhmar, because generally player groups are sort of like 2 to 3 players. So yeah, that's Blasphemy Larceny in Lankhmar. Another good scenario for Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankhmar. So keep the characters busy for a session or two, I would think, and just tie them in and their involvement into the city. And of course, basically with previous adventures, the player characters can go back and forth and deal with the previous NPCs they've encountered, and sort of like just build a sense of community and a sense of the city as they game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box containing a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.